No, he fucking.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Super Bowl preview, Grand Central Sports Hub on this Thursday preceding the Super Bowl for the 2020 season here in 2021. I'm Jay-Z along with Mr. Soriano from his abode in Utah, in Midvale, Utah, and Diamond Dan in Hamilton, Massachusetts. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. Good
We have a show packed full of Super Bowl predictions, thoughts, hot takes, bad betting advice. But there's breaking news in baseball. The hot stove is lit. Bob Nightingale was wrong.
Again.
About an hour, not even, but a half hour ago, Bob Nightingale from USA Today reported Trevor Bauer and the Mets have agreed on a contract to bring the free agent star pitcher to the Mets. And about 10 minutes later, Mark Feinstein said Bob was lying. We go to Mr. Soriano, a resident Met fan, for his real-time response to the up and down roller coaster that is the last half hour.
I blame you. You're a fucking jinx. You called it. You were saying that it was a done deal. It's not over till it's over. And fuck Bob Nightingale.
He's the worst. Bob Nightingale is the worst. He really is.
I think it's going to get done, but I don't think it's going to be this bullshit 3-year, 1 year out crap. I think he wants security.
I don't think he does. I think it's going to get done, but I do think he wants an out. I think both sides actually want an out just in case. He wants an out if he wins 20 games and is a Cy Young Award winner again. He wants an out to make more money post-COVID. The Mets wouldn't mind giving him an out at the same way if it implodes and just it's not a match. I think they both want a 1 year out, to be honest with you.
No, that's fair.
Because I don't. If he wanted security, he would get a 6-year contract. No one's going to do that right now. That's the problem with being a free agent this year, right?
Yes.
So I think it's going to get done. Also, what do you think, Dan?
I think it'll get done with a year. I was going to ask Mr. Soriano. So right now, what is the Mets rotation?
Like today?
Yeah, like if you were spring training started today.
So it would be DeGrom, Carlos Chorizo.
Stroman.
It would be
Stroman, right.
When does Thor come back? Middle of the year?
Thor's supposed to come back in July.
So that's like Severino for the Yankees. Okay. You don't know what
Peterson, who is a lefty kid who came up last year. And then they just picked up this kid from the Marlins. I forget his name. I don't know. Fucking Raj.
This makes a big difference.
Yeah, Dontrelle Willis.
But Mass is gone, right? So
Matt's is gone.
Stroman, Carrasco, Bauer, DeGrom, Stroman, Carrasco.
You say Bauer, I will break this.
Maybe Syndergaard. The problem, and much like most teams, everybody has question marks after the top 1 or 2 guys. It's everybody, right? So, that's a big difference in a rotation. You can't count on Thor coming back in July and being a 1-2 guy. So if it's DeGrom, Bauer 1-2, what a difference that is. What a difference.
Well, and if Thor comes back and is, 80% of his normal self, still a great pitcher.
Yeah, I don't think you can count on it. And that's the same way that I'm not counting on Severino to be anywhere near 80% of what Severino was when he comes back in July from Tommy John. So it's the same thing.
When does the wife beater get back?
He has the whole season. He was suspended his full season. He's back.
I knew that.
Back. But, he's a question mark in itself. He had one good season. We don't know. We don't know.
Well, that was the problem is that, again, we don't want to take anything away for the reason he was suspended, but, he was pitching at probably the top of his game when CC had his birthday party down there at the unit or whatever it's called. What was that thing called? They're on the new thing, the Vessel, on the west side.
Well, they should call it the suicide because everybody's jumping off the damn thing.
Well, these days, or the end your career side.
So,
although it looked really good in what was that? Oh, in the flight attendant, right? It was in the flight attendant. So
I with this Bauer stuff, honestly, I think it gets wrapped. I'm thinking tonight. I don't even think it drags out tomorrow.
There's no there's no downside at all, right, for the Mets or for Bauer here. I think for a 1-year deal with an opt out, fuck, why not? I mean,
I think some people are concerned about some baggage they feel that he brings, but he supposedly, and I read some stuff from former teammates, he's a good teammate. They love him in the clubhouse. That won't be the issue. If you think the media is not going to like him, it's possible.
Lindor loves him.
Yes.
So
he was a great teammate.
If you're trying to re-sign Lindor and the guy is happy with them,
right? I think the issue is that the Mets are going to get some criticism based on what has just happened to them, bringing in a guy that is considered controversial.
Yeah.
Not that it appears that he's done anything close to what Jared Porter or Mickey Callaway have done.
I was gonna say they bring Mickey Callaway back,
but he's not a quiet type, and he's been accused of being difficult on the old social media.
Mickey Callaway's at home doing the Snapchat thing.
Mickey chat roulette.
It's not funny. It's not funny. Mickey Callaway's a great.
It's funny because it's Mickey Callaway.
Yes, he's funny as itself because he's terrible at his job. The study, the difficult thing. Jared Porter is a freaking psychopath, but you were excited because he was really thought of highly as an executive. Goes and makes the trade, and then we find out that he's a psychopath and gets expelled from baseball, rightfully so, and probably should be in jail or something. Mickey Callaway is just all sorts of bad, right? I mean, the guy as a manager is absolutely clueless, and he's just a really weird. He's a weirdo. He's a weird guy.
Listen, right now he's been the most successful Mets GM in a number of years. So.
It's true. It's true, right? That's the thing. It's like Mets. I don't know. One day, every day, we open up the Twitter and there's another story that you're like, oh, okay. Why am I surprised? I'm not anymore. You're not. You never know. So we'll keep an eye as the night goes here during the show on the baseball news. But we have a bigger event to talk about. Isn't that right, Diamond Brown?
Excuse me. Yeah.
We're going to test you. Anyone have a PCR test available?
So, somebody's got a pack of Winston's over there.
Nah, I'm on week 3 of my non-COVID, winter cough over here.
Wait, you actually have a winter illness that's not COVID?
I know, of all things. It's
what the hell?
It's like the most Polish thing that could possibly happen.
Nobody's getting that this year.
I know. I'm the one flu case in the entire country after getting a flu shot.
You ain't kidding.
I'm on antibiotics too, so it's like being in college again.
Hey, make sure you that thing voids out the birth control pill. So
you don't have to worry about that.
No.
So I'm not taking.
Hopefully you're feeling well and you're okay.
Yeah, it was really, really cold up here last week, and I think that we're stuck inside, and just, we've got a snowstorm over the week. It doesn't help, right? So we're this is the time of year when we begin to segue and start to think about the spring, right?
Yeah.
So we've crossed the barren desert of a weekend with no football in preparation of the next many, many weeks. But the granddaddy of them all, as they say, is on Sunday, and then that will be followed next Sunday by, of course, the Daytona 500 and a federal holiday. So, the next 2 weekends, and then what do we look forward to is, March Madness, which is apparently on schedule in some way, shape, or form, and then we head into spring training, and then the Masters. So let's go. Let's get this winter behind us. I've had about enough of it, to be honest. It's
and
dark.
that's the thing. Like February's difficult before we get into some of the warmer weather sports, because Super Bowl, at least we have Daytona, and then you go through a February that's kind of, but then you hit March, and then the temperature starts rising a little bit, and then you get the basketball, then all of a sudden it's spring training, and things really look up. But this weekend, I think I'm excited. I think we can have a hell of a game here. I don't want to get – I shouldn't tamper, because as we know, nothing is at what it seems anymore. But this has the potential to be a hell of an offensive shootout.
It could devolve into a shootout, and I think the 56 point over under reflects that. Obviously, this is it's a year. There's usually a lot of buzz, and especially over a matchup like this where people are actually traveling to the Super Bowl, and you have a Radio Row and media and all that. And this year, obviously, that's all tamped down. So even spinning through XM radio in the sports channels, the Sirius XM radio, in the afternoons or in the mornings, like the NFL radio show in the morning with Solomon Wilcots has been nothing but advertisements. Today there was a 20-minute advertisement for pork rinds. I was like, the Super Bowl is in 3 fucking days. I was like, put somebody on. I had to switch it. I actually had to switch to ESPN radio, where Greeny, I think, or whoever does the morning show now, had a really interesting interview with Joe Montana. But then the guy did was pitch Guinness, and he's like, it has a connection to Notre Dame. And I was like, that's because you're both green and somehow tied to Ireland. But honest to God, I was like, this is what the situation is done, because nobody is in person. And,
right.
You don't have I don't know, you don't have Scott Pioli walking down, Radio Row.
Radio Row, right. It's not the same. You're not going to get that buzz this year.
No, both teams are still Tampa's in Tampa, obviously, but both teams are still in their respective cities. There's no media day, which sucks, because that's always a highlight, especially when Rob Gronkowski is involved. Right. So, it's tough, but excuse me, I think we're in for a good game one way or another. And I mean, hopefully the weekend doesn't take off his pants or something at halftime. So I'm looking forward to it. I want to look back at what we were talking about last week, because I did some research about it, especially the AFC game. And we had said that the soft zone that Buffalo was going to run against the Chiefs was not going to work. And here I look at receiving yardage, and Travis Kelce had 13 catches for 118 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's exactly what we said shouldn't happen. And they decided to play soft, and they got bitten by it. I didn't realize that Tyreek Hill had 9 catches for 172 yards. He averaged almost 20 yards a catch against a pretty stout Bills defense. And I think that sets the table really for, you've got – both of we can talk about the quarterback matchup all we want, right? But, Eric Bieniemy, as the much vaunted offensive coordinator, has given allows Mahomes to sort of pick and choose his play call, based on college plays, pro plays, even high school play, whatever, there's a variety of backgrounds that they can pull from. And the question will be is, can the very good Tampa Bay defense, keep them off the field? And if they can't, can Tampa's offense retaliate and keep pace? And I don't know if that's I don't know what the answer to that question is.
Well, I so much want to root for Tampa here, which is a weird feeling. The Brady part of it, but there's something about that winning away from New England, legacy stamp. As if he needed a sprinkle on top of his legacy. I don't know. I find myself pulling for it, and it's so conflicting. He put that goofy video out after they won the game 2 weeks ago, and I laughed my ass off. I was like, don't make me like you, Tom. Don't make me like you, Tom. And he's lighthearted guy now. Yeah.
And look at the logo on your chest.
And well, the difference but listen, the Giants beat Tom Brady twice. And so Tom Brady, to me, it wasn't like he ever hurt me. It wasn't like he ever broke my heart as a Giant fan. We beat him twice. So I don't have that I've determined years later I don't have that deep hate for Tom Brady. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. And Casey's right. Betting on the Chiefs is boring, and you won't win. You won't win anything. So we should be balls in on Tampa.
Well, here's the thing. We'll get to betting. I guess you want to talk about it now. We can talk about it now. If you have the ability to tease points in this game, this is a ripe opportunity to do so with the Buccaneers. I did some calculations, and I've teased a lot of points there, for the Pats, Jesus Christ, for the Bucs, right? And I brought them to 6.5 point favorites. We'll get to those. We'll get to the props later.
Hey, Lawrence,
but, you can
calling it is it a coin? Is he asking for the coin toss prop or calling the game a coin toss?
I mean, it could be both. But I've given the Patriots. I did it again. I've given the Buccaneers.
You're worse than Colin Cowherd with thinking Bill Belichick is coaching.
Never say those words again. I've given the Bucs the alternative point spread, 6.5 points. I think they win this game by a touchdown, so cover your points. And the over under has gone from 56.5 to 56. So if you take the 6.5 Patriots alternative point spread, oh my God, I did it again. The Buccaneers alternative point spread at 6.5, giving 6.5 with a 56 point over that pays 7 to 1. So you're looking at 7 plus 700.
So you're doing. Oh, I like that. By the way, my FanDuel is giving 55.5 for an over. I should lock that in tonight before it changes.
So it's coming down.
Yeah,
which is interesting. The thing is I heard this morning too, and I cannot corroborate this, but I hear there may be weather inbound to Tampa to the tune of
yes, but it might clear, and I don't know if it'll matter.
Well, I mean, soaking rain, and I mean, let's not forget here, for all intents and purposes, this is a home game, cannons or not, for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, no cannons in this game. No cannons at all. They should do cannons.
They said they would
everyone.
fire them up after the game for whoever wins.
They should do cannons for everyone all game, and then I can hide under the desk.
Yeah, I mean, I've just learned over, especially this playoffs and others before it. It's hard to bet against Tom Brady, and I think the Chiefs are 0-for against the spread in this playoffs. So I'm all in on Tampa.
I think that's the way to make this game fun. And I want to be
Matt.
Listen, I worked well once this year, and
he's going to pour cold water on this.
Listen, this is the perfect passing of the torch, except Tom Brady wears a pink thong under his fucking uniform pants, and Pat Mahomes is a man who put a baby into that smoke show that he dates. But the money line is terrible. It's minus 165. I think you parlay that with the over, and there's a million really good props in there. One of which is Travis Kelce as the MVP at 9-1. I think that's. I mean, the only losing fucking bet as the MVP is Pat, which, yeah. It's a pretty easy one, but I think Kelce is just a fucking beast.
Yeah. And I would like to see, a non-traditional offensive player win an MVP, which hasn't happened in many years. And to your point, I have that written down, and on DraftKings, it's 1,200 for Kelce right now. I mean, but like you said, I mean, it's Mahomes, it's Brady. And then it goes way down from there. I mean, JPP is at 6,600. Not to say, Malcolm Butler won an MVP because he made, I don't remember.
JPP in his one fucking hand is going to end up getting 17 sacks on Sunday. By the way, it's 2-0 Rangers.
How much?
2-0 Rangers.
Oh, great. I mean, I don't think there were any other Tampa Bay defenders even in the discussion, in terms of an MVP. No. But to Matt's point about the props, right? If you're going to take Jesus
You've
Christ.
done
If
it
you're
like
gonna-
This is why I
times.
can't bet the Brady. And you know what, Casey? I don't care how hot his wife is. She's a Nazi, and you of all people should not be rooting for her.
I know, for God's sakes. But yeah, if you're gonna take the Bucks, right, and you're gonna whether you're taking it on the money line, the points, or you're taking an alternative point spread, Tampa Bay winning margin 7 to 9 points is plus 1,000, so you're looking at 10-1 there. And then also my favorite prop of the whole fucking show is that Brady scores, right? You could obviously see that happening on a 3rd and 1 at the goal line or 3rd and goal, whatever, he calls his own number. Brady to score with Tampa to win is plus 1050. So, I mean, if you start stacking that with Tampa Bay in a winning margin and floating them, a handful of points, it's starting to get interesting as far as, getting value out of the Super Bowl, where if you bet it straight up, you're not going to make a whole lot of money.
I will tell you that last year, Kansas City didn't do shit in the first half. I got clobbered on all my first half bets, including the props. Don't bet fucking red for the Gatorade because I fucking
The
got my-
Gatorade.
yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, and the under hit last year, let's not forget. But then again, Kansas City, it's
Dan,
not exactly.
What was your alternate spread again that you wanted? You wanted the
I had
Bucks?
6.5.
Six and a half.
Minus 6.5 for Tampa Bay, but that was only because I'm trying to squeeze some money out of it. Casey, to your point, I've got one here for you. Which would be higher, Brady rushing yards or the Liverpool Man City total goals on Sunday at 11:30 a.m. And Brady rushing yards is giving 120. So I thought there's a couple of very interesting props, multi-sport props. Clyde Edwards-Helaire carries or Knicks 3-pointers made versus the Heat, which is Sunday at 1:00. So
you can go nuts.
One,
you can go absolutely insane with the props.
The thing is, if you're going to do multi-sport props, Sunday is obviously a great sports day. It's the greatest sports day in America.
Ever.
It's one of the reasons America is the greatest country in the world. Super Bowl Sunday, right? You've got hockey, you got basketball, you got everybody lighting it up. You got the final round of the Waste Management Open out in Phoenix. It's a great day. But when you start mixing up these multi-sport bets, you want to keep it to Sunday because some of these leak out into baseball season and this home runs and shit. And I mean, that's just dangerous because then you're sitting on a. It could be let's say Mike Evans wins the MVP and then you're waiting around to see if DJ LeMahieu wins the AL MVP or something.
I'm just looking at options, and I like that idea on the spread if you're getting aggressive with the Bucks. I just don't know. From my heart of hearts, I just don't know. Damn, the Chiefs are so damn good.
I mean, they are, but I mean, Tom Brady.
I know.
Tom Brady and
we learned not to bet against Brady,
I mean, the thing is Brady didn't even have a really great game in the NFC Championship game, right? Here, I'm looking at it. He went 20 for 36 for 280, 3 touchdowns and 3 picks. It's and 2 of those picks were, I think all 3 were in the second half, right? And one of them was a back foot, chucked down the field, which initially I thought was what the hell is he trying to do there? But it was a 3rd and long. One way it was the equivalent of a punt, and I was like, see, this is it. I'm not even thinking about that. And Tom Brady's out there throwing punts. Lawrence is right. I mean, there was no downside to him doing that. While it looks like it was what the fuck, but they were in control of that game the whole time. They made Aaron Rodgers look bad. And I mean, Rodgers' passer rating last week was 101.6. Brady's was 73, and it didn't matter because Brady threw 3 touchdowns when it mattered. And he just performs, and I just think that there's going to be you just can't count him out. It's so fascinating. And I was sitting there, and I'm like, I never you, Jason and Matt. I've never really been the biggest Tom Brady apologist or anything of that nature. But I'm sitting there watching him thoroughly defeat Aaron Rodgers, who is a no doubt MVP candidate this year, in his own house. And, Eli did it, 10 years ago, but this is different. And I was just like, this guy is just something different.
And Casey's right. Yeah, Brady did Brady things, but Green Bay lost that game. I mean, the Green Bay coaching staff was unprepared, kicking the field goal and not giving the ball to Aaron Rodgers on the play of the season to score a touchdown. Like, Green Bay pissed that game away 6 times to Saturday. I mean, it was so disappointing. And honestly, LaFleur should be canned. He should be shit canned. I just don't know how LaFleur, Green Bay's coach, should be shit canned.
Yeah, the field goal was a weird goal.
How do you allow a guy like that to run a football team? They go from one guy like McCarthy, who wore out his welcome.
The Giants did hire Pat Shurmur and Ben McAdoo, so I mean,
I know. Listen,
I don't want to. And the Jets hired Adam Case, so
Rodgers could have run the ball in there too on that play too.
I don't know why he didn't. 10 years ago he makes that play, but this year he doesn't make that play. So I mean, the thing is Brady has no inclination and no desire to run. If AB is not available, I think if I recall correctly, Bryant was limited in practice today, but it's Thursday, and I don't think there's any doubt that Antonio Bryant will be at least available to play on Sunday. But I mean, between Evans and the tight end too, Cameron, what's his face, Brace, I forget. I always mix up his last name. Then again, I've been saying he plays for the Patriots all day. Hang on, Cameron, Brait, that's it. He's a little dinged up, and I still think that I cannot bet against Tom Brady in Tampa's own home. He's been there so many times, and this, to Matt's point about the changing of the guard and passing the torch and all that, I just don't think that Brady's ready to do that yet. And I don't think he's ready to.
It doesn't look like it. He's enjoying himself. He really looks like he's having fun. That's what's scary.
Well, I mean, I would. I
like
too.
this. Speaking of, I even though he doesn't run, I like that bet
over a half yard.
I just saw it. It's one. FanDuel has me at plus 145 for that.
All right, so then I would, if you're going to take that, you can take the Brady to score. I like. There's a couple others here. I like. First touchdown of 16 to 25 yards is 350. You could always go with the first score being a safety. That's 4,000. 40 to 1, whatever. And and there's always the
25.
First to 10 and the first to 10, the first to 15, the first to 25, whatever. Those are going to pay lower odds, but I mean, it makes the game a little more fun.
Yeah,
and that's a little more. That's something you're going to want to do, like with basketball or something. But
yeah, do you like? So he's saying Brady over 25.
Yeah, I mean,
what does that get you?
Here? I mean, he had 19 yards in the NFC Championship game. Why wouldn't you? Why not? I mean, with Gronkowski out there throwing dupes, go right ahead.
What's the line on it? What does that get you?
I don't know. I just wrote down a bunch of crap this afternoon. I don't have that one.
I don't see that one yet. Going down.
I wish this Knicks one was a different. The fact that you have Clyde Edward-Helaire carries are getting better, worse odds than Knicks 3-pointers made against the Heat tells you all you need to know about that.
That's not good.
The Knicks. It's like, oh man.
The Knicks are good value this year as a team. That's a whole other sport for another time.
And folks, you can stop watching the Knicks because Jason just put the stink on them. I think my favorite prop of the whole show, though, at 500 is the first missed field goal has to hit the upright. And if that happens, you win, 5 to 1.
Who the hell
if it
thinks
hits the crossbar, 10 to 1.
Who the hell thinks of these things?
I don't know. I mean, people also want to gamble on how long the Brave note is on the end of the national anthem.
Oh, wait, we've gone down to how long a certain note is? Because I know we bet on how long the anthem is. Now we're down to a certain actual note.
Yes, it's like 5.5 seconds or something.
Holy shit.
On the last word of the song.
What was that stupid Budweiser phrase? Fucking dilly dilly.
That was bad.
2 years ago, there was a prop on how many dilly dillies there would be through the whole fucking game. So,
but you have to, like you said, Dan. It keeps the game interesting, and fun, and just to screw around, And on some of this stuff, right? I mean,
the thing is too. There's so much hype around it, right? And if you're a real dirtbag, you've been betting all day. So then you get to these goofy little things like coin tosses and songs, and if a player kneels or not, before the game starts. And I think if there is a kneeling player, it's like plus 3,000. So I mean, you're looking at
he'd have a ketchup stain on his mask.
Yeah. But I'm sure there's pressure from the NFL not to do that, especially in Florida. So, and in the Super Bowl.
FaceTime video.
Hold on, boys. I'll be back.
Okay.
I was like, what is that? What's this? Sammy
I hope
Watkins?
he mutes it because I don't want to.
Right? I don't want to hear. Sammy Watkins over 3.5 receptions is plus 112.
I guess it depends on. I'm looking. Let's see. Last week. Who was it again? I'm sorry.
Sammy Watkins, 3.5.
See, I don't think he played last week.
He didn't.
Right, because I'm looking at it. So the pass. So you had 13 catches for. Or let's talk targets last week, right? Kelsey had 15. Hill had 11. Pringle had 5. Hardman only had 3, but he did have a carry. And then Williams had 1. Edwards-Helaire had 2. I mean, that's not those are targets, right? Whereas Williams had 13 carries for 52 yards. So I don't, you don't want the quarterback to be the leading rusher, I guess is how this will shape up.
Thoughts on this game? My feeling is let's. I know this is going to be obvious, but if Tampa comes out and spits the ball up or has a terrible first drive and gives the ball in good field position, and Kansas City is off to the races early, that could be daggers, quick daggers.
Yeah, if you look at it last week, Kansas City spotted the Bills 9 points before you even sat down.
Mm-hmm.
Right on the opening drive, and then the drop punt or whatever the opening, whatever the kickoff was. Right, so you're giving the Bills the ball back at the 5-yard line on the second possession of the game, and it didn't even matter. Right, I even highlighted it in the readout from last week. They scored. So Buffalo was up 9-0 at the end of the first quarter and was down 21-10 or 21-12. At halftime. Like the Kansas City came back and scored 21 points in the second quarter.
They've got to start off. The Bucs have got to start off strong. If they start off on D, got to go after the quarterback. And if they're starting on offense, freaking touchdown city. You cannot start this game off weak. You better come to play because the Chiefs will bury you and bury you quick.
Brady's always on the D.
Yeah,
it'll be one boring game if that's the way it starts.
I don't think the game is going to be boring. That's just my opinion. And the thing is, I heard somebody, I forget who it was, and I had to agree with them. I think because you have the Kansas City offense is freewheeling, right? So you want to get them in, not that you want to get them into the red zone, but you want to get them into a compressed field. Right, where they have to make more decisions. I think in terms of shorter field, and then less running room or whatever it is, and then you force them to score. I'm not saying that every drive you want to let Patrick Mahomes into the red zone to potentially score with all the weapons he has, but I get the point, right? About them, they can run the ball all over the field. Mahomes can throw the ball from anywhere. Just based on his mobility. So getting him into a compressed field is, maybe not the worst thing in the world.
He does tend to
you also want to
off.
play the what?
He does tend to get picked off over there in the red zone.
Yeah. During this, Guinness advertisement that Joe Montana was running, they were talking about Roger Taylor, or right? It was Roger Taylor. He had the big, he had the Super Bowl winning catch. Is that him thinking over? And he was like, I was looking for him through the whole game, but it's really hard when you're playing behind Jerry Rice because he's like, I'm looking downfield, I'm looking downfield, and then it's like, oh, there's Jerry Rice. I think that's the same thing when you're over. It's like, where's Travis Kelce? And if he's not there, then I look for Tyreek Hill, and if he's not there, I run the ball. So it's harder to do that in a 20-yard field than it is when you're on the 45. So Bills. I mean, what did we see? Like the question last week or 2 weeks ago, rather, was what are the Bills' keys to the game? It was Josh Allen scoring didn't happen. Singletary going over 75 yards didn't happen, and containing Travis Kelce over the middle of the soft zone definitely didn't happen. It was like every 5 seconds or every third play, Travis Kelce's catching the ball and he's running for 10 yards. It was like watching the fucking Giants, like getting burned over the middle by some. Well, not that Travis Kelce's a nobody, but by some tight end that they just seemingly forgot to cover.
Yeah, So, let's do this. All right, let's break this game down kind of piece by piece. Let's start on the sidelines here. You've got an Andy Reid coming off of a Super Bowl, America's favorite coach right now. Wears a jockstrap on his face as his mask. Eats about 17 cheeseburgers before the game. Diner menu in his hand. Everyday guy. Great football coach. Hell of a leader. Bruce Arians. Is this his first Super Bowl on the sidelines?
I believe it is.
I believe for Arians. But actually, let's check that. Head coach for Tampa, Tom Brady.
Let's go back to that. Right?
He's the one running this team. From a sidelines perspective, strategic perspective, advantage Chiefs here. I would think, or do we feel otherwise for any reason?
Well, just as an ombudsman here, thanks to the wikis, Bruce Arians has 2 rings. One with Pittsburgh and one with Pittsburgh as well. So,
not as a coordinator though, right?
As an offensive coordinator,
right.
Okay.
Okay, but still, it's not the same.
I can't hear you.
Jeez, put your pants on.
Put the peanut butter away. I don't know. I gotta, he muted himself. I would have to go with, Kansas City, obviously, like Jason said, he's Andy Reid is like America's guy now. So, and Bieniemy, everybody's, this is going to be the mystery of Eric Bieniemy, right? Is that if, this Colorado product who obviously does have some issues in his past, leads, it's not hard to lead, this is why Josh McDaniels can't get a real job either. It's not hard to coach or to lead guys like Patrick Mahomes who are legit superstars. But the fact that Bieniemy has been passed up for head coaching positions, wasn't even interviewed by Philadelphia, with the Rooney Rule in place, is going to be a question mark, especially if he wins another Super Bowl. It's hard to win 2 Super Bowls in a row. And you're, as an offensive coordinator, an up-and-coming coach, who has a lot of potential. It's going to be interesting. I think that's the storyline there. And, of course, soft spot in my heart, of course, for Steve Spagnuolo, this would be his, 3rd, 4th ring if it were to come true. And, he's taken kind of Kansas City's defense is good, but, he's a leader of men. So, then again, on the other side of the field, I think who's the offensive coordinator for Tampa used to coach the Jets. It's totally evading me right now. Todd Bowles, thank you. So, it would be a great – I would love to see Todd Bowles win a ring with Tom Brady just to fuck it to the Jets fans. But, we'll see. And I think the Kansas City bench does have the edge.
I think Spagnuolo, having had to formulate a game plan against Brady in the Super Bowl before times 2 is a big deal. I think we might be underestimating that. That's a big plus for his experience in game planning against Brady, I would think. Right?
I agree. But he's done it.
To Bruce Arians' credit, when he's allowed Tom Brady now to take over pretty much coaching this team, that's when they changed. That's when they took off, and that's when they started playing better.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, there's no question about it. Like, I mean, what is the one thing that changed in Tampa this year? Tom Brady.
That's it. Let him do his thing. Don't try to. He was not able to figure this out early in the season. A game plan that worked with Brady and what he's able to do now. And then once he, I guess, gave it up, it was like, do your thing, Tom. Everything changed. So you got to give him credit for not thinking that he is higher than thou. You know.
I mean, you want to win, right? And I mean, if you've been given this gift from on high, you know, I mean, remember they could be playing with Jameis Winston,
right?
Who may end up being the head, the starting quarterback in New Orleans, in 8 months. But you don't want to fuck it up, and it's like This is why he was brought there. This is like when Brady went out and said, "I want to go out and win without the." That reminds me, he gave an interview, which of course the guys here, the sports radio guys in Boston, made a big deal of, is that, Tom Brady never uses the word Patriots in interviews. And the only time he used the word Patriots is when the Dolphins eliminated them from the playoffs, like in week 15 or 16 or whatever.
Oh shit.
He said, the team I used to play for. So all these goobers up here find that hilarious, and I think it is hilarious too for exactly the opposite reason. But it's like, he wanted to prove something, and for him, like I think personally, I think he already has proven it. But for him and for everybody else, he's not going to prove it until he wins the Super Bowl against undeniably probably the best team in the league.
Yeah, and a team that's going to be the best team in the league for the foreseeable future. But let's see if he has something to say about that for this season, for this year anyway. Let's go super specific and pick a final score.
Where are we going to go through all the phases of the game there, Coach Belichick?
Oh, yeah. So you have, I mean, here's the problem. On paper, I have a hard time fighting for the Bucks on pretty much any end of this. Offense and the dynamic Kansas City offense. I don't know how you can say that the Bucks have an offense that's even close to what the Chiefs can do right now.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that is predicated on the fact that Brady can't leave the pocket, right? I mean, the joke, it's a joke and it's not a joke that, the line is set at a half a yard for Brady rushing.
Right. Tells you a lot, right?
Watch the NFC Championship. You watch all three. See, here's the thing, though, is that the Buccaneers have played all three games this year as a wild card team on the road, and they've won all three games, right? And this is all done without Brady ever leaving the pocket.
Never another team that did that one year?
Something. I can't
something.
Tom Brady, right? But I mean, Kansas City had to play 2 games. This gets into the whole argument. I'm not going to go there, but if Brady has time and AB is available, you cannot count these guys out.
No, I think the Bucs defense. So, all right, if I'm going to give them an edge somewhere, I'll be willing to say, hey, that's a pretty damn good defense, and maybe it's a tick better than the Chiefs, maybe.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that Tyrann Mathieu played for the Chiefs. I was like, oh, that's new. But I think Tampa's defense has been reinvigorated, and it also helps that this is the thing with Brady, right? Is that he not moving, and when they run the ball, they run in short distances. They take their time. Like the defense it's not like the Giants, or it's not like even the Bills, right? Like the offense is on the field for a long time, right? So the defense isn't out there every 5 seconds. So that probably helps.
Tampa's defense ranked 4th in the league in sacks with 48 this season. The Chiefs had 32; they ranked 19th. So if they can get to Mahomes, which is no easy task, they've been able to get the quarterbacks this year. Points against, Bucks ranked, it's close. Bucks ranked 8th. They gave up 355 points this year. The Chiefs gave 362. They ranked 10th. So pretty much a pretty much a wash there. But
Mhm.
you know, on the flip side, like we're saying, the Chiefs yards per game first in the league, passing yards per game first in the league. You know, it's just that's just so difficult to defend against. So it's I think a story here. We'll be seeing if the Bucs defense can do what they have sort of done all season against the Chiefs offense. I think that's I think that's the game right there.
They had 5 sacks against Green Bay. You know, I mean, granted, again, Rodgers isn't as mobile as let's say Mahomes is, but I mean, 2 sacks, and then granted that was 5 sacks, 2 of them from 8 fingers, and then you know the other 3 I think were from Shaq Barrett. So all of a sudden, like Shaq Barrett's fucking Lawrence Taylor. So, you know, if that continues, it'll be interesting to see. But again, you're dealing with the most mobile quarterback in the league.
Yeah, and I think I think the Bucs can score if the game's close and win the game, but if it's up to their defense to keep it close. And that I know that sounds like every game, but that's just the way it's going to be. I think end of the game, they have possession, they could win a game with a touchdown. The Bucs will get the touchdown. I really believe it, but they need to be in that spot, and that'll be up to the defense.
But don't forget. I mean, this is the fascinating thing too about the Patriots and Brady, right? Is that like they ended both games against the Giants, both Super Bowls, with the ball. You know, so like the Giants went down in the first one, Plax gets the touchdown. You know, they had a minute 23 or whatever it was, and they blew it. You know, the second one, Super Bowl 46, like they actually had a chance. Like Brady reached the end zone with that throw, and
I watched that kind of show the other day on the network. But that was more the exception to the Pats and the rule. The Giants had the talent and the game plan to stop them, and that was an exception. That's one team. No one else in the height of their dynasty was able to do that. How did the game end against Philadelphia? Did they have the ball on that one or no?
That's a good question.
Philly was
I don't
up quite
think
a
they
bit.
did. Yeah, I mean that game was not in question. I mean, and then there's 28-3, of course, against the Falcons. I mean, no one's ever going to forget that. So, but I mean, the Eagles, you know, after Brady dropped that Philly special ball, that game was over. Like you could just the Patriots were disjointed, and there was something going on there.
That was not.
You know,
that's why I don't even count. That wasn't the height of their dynasty. The Giants were the height. Those Super Bowls were the height of the dynasty, and the Giants are the only team that was able to do that to them.
That was the one and only time I ever rooted for the Patriots.
Me too. It figures like, oh, you can't come through for me the one fucking time I'm rooting for you.
Well, it was obvious, Jason. If you were rooting for them, they weren't going to win the game. Like everybody else realizes that you're king mush. But to Todd, we're gonna have we'll have our Tampa Bay decorations here just to troll everybody who's angry around here. Ready to go on Sunday. I'll pick up the balloons tomorrow. And my 6-year-old is psyched. He loves Tom Brady, so. He doesn't get the whole. He's not from here, right? So he doesn't get the whole. Regional.
Casey's on the bushwhack.
So true,
Jason. Next time you go home, you should wear your shirt.
Will you? That's the next shirt you have to buy me. Wait,
I bought you that fucking shirt
with the hashtag Mushad. That's the one. That's what I want you to. That's the next Vegas shirt I have to wear.
Wear your own fucking shirt, you fucking retiring.
Right. I mean, you can buy them anywhere.
So let's do this. We have to talk about some other Super Bowl things that are important, like food and drinks. So let's give final scores. We'll transition to the entertainment portion of this program.
Entertainment?
Yes.
35
football game.
Kansas City.
What are you saying?
35-30. 35-30 Kansas City. That tips the over, so you got that. I'm going 38-31 Buccaneers. I want a high-scoring game, and they got to cover that 6.5. Anytime you want to give your opinion, we'll be happy to hear it.
Come on.
$31.27.
So that's barely covering the over.
And they, the natural spread, if you will. Pats. Now Casey's doing it. Everybody's doing it.
I said $31.27. You can't steal my prediction.
Like I really want, if I got to shave, I'm not shaving points. I guess I am shaving points, but 6.5 points gets the value out of it. With the over, it gets you to 7-1. It's money. It is what it is. But like I said, my favorite prop is the double doink. Now I wonder what happens there. So let's say there is a doink and you hit the upright for 5-1 on a missed field goal. But what if it hits both? What if you get the upright and the crossbar? Oh man.
You should get both bets.
So here you go. Let's look at this. So you get all right. So just doing the math here. Tampa Bay -6.5 and the over, right? That's 7-1. And then if you've got Tampa Bay with the winning margin of 7 to 9 points, that's 10-1. And if you have Brady scoring with Tampa winning, that's plus 1050. I mean, if you work that out, I doubt you can parlay all those together. But, I mean, if you stacked up a couple $25, $35, $40 bets on that, go for it. And if the first touchdown is 16 to 25 yards, sweeten it with 3.5 to 1.
It's what yards? What's that?
If the first touchdown of the game is 16 to 25 yards, it pays plus 350.
If the Chiefs win the toss, I could see that easily.
Well, yeah, and then
either on the ground or the air.
It was perfectly predictable that you would pick Leonard Fournette to score the first touchdown, and then of course he scores the second one in like miraculous fashion. I mean, everybody, as soon as you said that, we could have called that.
I was like, wrong touchdown, fucko.
They could win the toss and still defer, Mush.
I don't know why they would do that.
They want the ball in the second half.
If the Chiefs aren't deferring, the Chiefs want to score. Neither team could defer. I don't agree with that.
And I mean, I like even though I picked the Bucs to win, I like the value in Mr. Soriano's MVP pick of Travis Kelce. I'm getting 12-1 right now on DraftKings, but that might change.
Lock it in.
Or just pick somebody. I don't know what Malcolm Butler gave 3 or 4 years ago. Just pick some random ass cornerback or like a safety. Who makes like some stupid miraculous play or like a lineman.
Yep.
Who like picks up a fumble and runs like fat guy
touchdown. I think JPP is gonna do some stupid shit and score. He's gonna pull off something. I
look for Shaq Barrett too. I mean, those two were, like I said, a dynamic duo in the NFC Championship game, and all of a sudden Shaq Barrett is like, the best linebacker in football. So
JPP and his six fucking fingers.
It's more like 7.5.
6 2/3. So what else are we? It's a great sports day. It's a great betting day. You know what else is a great day on Sunday? You know what else? It's a great fucking food and drink day. So let's talk about it. We'll talk about your personal menus, but before we do that, I need your hot takes. I need your opinions and your hot takes as we return to another edition of Start Bench Cut Super Bowl Snack Edition.
Tom, nobody tells me when to do that, by the way.
I think I just froze. Can you see anything?
Nope.
I can see us.
You can still see. You can see the camera, but you can't see anything else.
I could see stars all around me.
Uh-oh. This is a problem.
Maybe we won't be doing that.
Jason, why do you have OnlyFans on your screen?
Let's see what happens.
I didn't know dudes did OnlyFans.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I'm waiting to see what happens here as I have the blue circle circulating on my screen. I'm unable to click anything.
That laptop is brand fucking new.
Blame the browser. I should run it on Google, but I'm running it on Microsoft Edge, whatever the hell it is.
How much coffee did you spill on that thing?
No, we're good. We're good. We're good. Hank, settle down over there. Jesus.
How much coffee, quote unquote, did you spill on that?
Settle down. Settle down. You know, right in time. You know, this just never fails. Never fails. So I don't know what'll happen. I think if I exit, you guys stay on. I'm gonna have to see.
Can you say what they are?
No, it's no fun.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. I can't see it.
We need a commercial for pork rinds.
We do.
We need NFL Network.
I like pork rinds. All right, give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. Stand by. Stand by. Oh, great.
Now he's frozen. Oh, what is going on, man? Is that like what is that picture behind you, Mr. Soriano? It looks like some picture from Ghostbusters.
It's just like a gold.
Whoa, there's two of me. Okay, so weird.
It's just a swirl.
Kinda.
All right, how the fuck? Why are there two of me? Well, there aren't now. All right, I'm back. Let's see.
Are you?
I don't know. Am I? Am I alive?
God, this is terrible.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault when the fucking computer goes to shit.
What are you trying to do? You're trying to put some pictures?
I'm trying to show you some pictures. You know?
Maybe just draw them, hold them up.
I like Warner Wolf back in the day.
Exactly. Or like the whiteboard with Carl Rove.
Start benching and cutting.
Right.
There we go.
There we go.
Finally.
We got queso, guac, or spinach artichoke dip for your Super Bowl snack.
Spinach artichoke dip only belongs out when you're trying to get laid with a new chick.
Yeah, it's like that line in 40-Year-Old Virgin. I saw you make a spinach artichoke dip in a bowl of sourdough bread once.
A good spinach artichoke dip is very good with some warm pita chips.
My point is exactly
that line that Dan did not repeat, but
yeah, I'm not where this is the internet never dies.
See, what you don't have up there is the goat, which is really good onion dip. Which you could put that on fucking anything and it tastes good. So I don't know.
True.
I don't know if I could participate, but I would say onion dip with all that other shit.
Hell of a
You're not even entertaining any of these three. You're just going for the onion dip.
Yeah, and I make my own fucking onion dip. I don't buy any of that shit in a jar.
So I'm picky with queso because bad queso is can be pretty shitty, but if it's good, it's on another level good. I think I pick guac though, and I start and guac and I bench the queso and I probably cut the spinach artichoke dip. So that's what I'm thinking of this, Daniel.
Yeah, I would go probably. I'd start queso because it's versatile.
Okay.
And then the other two, guac with onions freaks me out.
Onions? No, I don't. Yeah, I don't.
What? You gotta have white onion in there or red onion.
Not red onion. Red onion is too strong.
More jalapenos.
Yes. Make it hot.
And then cut the spinach and artichoke dip and save that for your speed dating.
I'll write that down.
Not you necessarily, but
it's pretty good.
What is going on over there?
I have two more, and Hank is crying. We have wings, pizza, or ribs. Just say let's say you smoke the ribs, Dan.
Well, I'm going to smoke a brisket, I think, on Sunday.
I was going to ask you.
It's only going to be 40 degrees here, so I got to go pick up get a flat. I've never been a pizza sports guy, really, so you got to start the wings. That's New York. I'd bench the ribs and cut the pizza. Yeah, pizza any day. Wings of football with a cold beer.
The other problem is ordering a pizza on the Super Bowl. You're either going to get subpar pizza or pizza that takes 3 hours to deliver, or subpar pizza that takes 3 hours to deliver. It's a logistical problem.
Yeah.
Cook the food in your house.
The wings, fry those bitches till they crack in half, get them nice and crispy. Buffalo, don't get any of this fucking creative shit with the sauces. Blue cheese.
Yep.
Throw the celery out the window.
Frank's and butter. That's all you need.
Amen. Ribs would be on the bench, and pizza's good every other day of the week.
I agree. No blue cheese, no ranch. Fuck condiments. I just want my wings.
You need blue cheese.
Yeah, I never really got like the pizza and sports connection. I don't, like all the commercials and stuff. I'm like, the last thing I think about when I want to like do a spread for a Super Bowl or whatever is pizza. I don't know.
It's easy and people get fucking lazy. It's America. That's why.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no fucking delis out here, but I was very pleased that there's a rumor flying around that Jimmy John's going to have a 6-foot hero.
Ooh.
And a 6-foot, Italian combo is perfect Super Bowl food.
Yes, that is good. That is
true.
A good one. That's a good one around halftime, and you want another snack, and you grab a piece of that hero. I have loaded tots, Frank's in a blanket, and cocktail meatballs for your next snack on the Super Bowl. Think about
call it Frank's in a blanket.
Pigs in a blanket.
Right? Did I say Frank's? I meant pigs. I don't know.
They gotta be the kosher beef.
Think like third quarter, beginning of the fourth. You need one more thing to get you through the game. What are you grabbing?
Soriano.
Pigs in a blanket are classic. Those are
absolutely
coming after in the game. Loaded tots. You
love your tots.
I do love tots, but I would say probably meatballs. Costco sells these fucking sweet and sour meatballs that are really good.
Love those.
But I don't like when people put them in crock pots. They get weird. You got to fucking broil that shit. Get them nice and crunchy.
See, it's funny. It's funny you mention that because Mrs. Diamond does a very nice job with some frozen meatballs. She
does.
Grape jelly and chili powder.
Ooh.
Oh man, you throw those in the crock pot, it melts it down. Like you said, right after halftime. Oh man.
Oh shit.
I've grown partial to the cocktail meatballs on the game days. I think it's an awesome. You get a toothpick, you just still go to town. Or start grabbing them.
Or sardines out of the can.
What the
he likes sardines. I can't explain it.
GameStop this week, so he's eating sardines out of the can.
It's the thing about it's you do the toothpick, it's finger food. The pigs in the blankets, finger food. The tots, you got to get a fork. It's.
See, I think with the meatballs too, you have options, right? Because you could always get a roll, throw that down, make a little Sammy.
Yeah.
A little Parmesan on that bad boy. Also, before I forget, let's shout out. Let's do a half shout out for Rockland Bakery because Rockland Bakery is now shipping their products nationwide. To include rolls, cookies, challah if that's your taste, bagels. The only downfall right now is that the shipping is exorbitantly expensive.
Yeah.
So you want to get and they tell you, oh, you get the overnight shipping because you don't want your rolls to go bad.
Right.
But I don't also want to pay more than my actual order to ship it to me. Whereas I could have somebody just go buy it and ship it themselves. Right. But kudos Rockland Bakery. So like. You take a Rockland Bakery hard roll, throw about 6 or 7 of those meatballs on there. Oh, now we're talking. Or even a club roll.
That's a great idea.
Can't beat that.
Are you? Is Mrs. Sadowski making the meatballs then Sunday for you?
TBD because we are going to smoke a brisket. So,
fantastic.
All
right. So I was going to ask you: is that what else is on your menu? You're doing a smoked brisket.
Yeah, and then I forget what else we talked about. Some veggie dips shit. You got to keep the kids healthy, of course. And I was thinking about depending because say what you want, but Costco, man, the meat selection, the USDA Prime shit they got there is top notch, and for $30, you can't go wrong with an 8-pound brisket.
No.
And I could go to the butcher, but whatever. I don't know. It's this ain't New York, so maybe pick up some chicken wings depending on if they got some of them, air fry those bad boys, but otherwise just keep it pretty simple.
A very old school game snack that my folks used to put out on the Super Bowl: bacon wrapped water chestnuts,
Ooh,
teriyaki, and pineapple juice.
Damn, that sounds good.
Fucking, they get it gets like a fucking syrup on them, and the bacon gets all crispy around them.
That sounds outstanding.
Yeah.
What's for drinks on Sunday, Danny? Your selection of fancy beer?
Well, it depends on if my if my ailment is satisfied by then. Because that's actually the last day of my antibiotic run.
Gotcha.
So I'm trying not to mix church and state. But I did track down a case of Bell's Brewing Hop Slam here in Massachusetts, which is a it's easier to find down where you are, and I bet they don't even sell it out where Mr. Soriano is because it's 10%. But oh man, it is it's a once a year beer from our friends in Kalamazoo, Michigan there. And you get it super cold. You don't even taste the 10%. It's great. And there's a restaurant here, or there was a restaurant down in Boston called Eastern Standard, and they had their pastry chef opened up a bakery near Camp Diamond over here in Massachusetts. And they sell their pretzels and pretzel bites at a local brewery, so that might be a little swing through, but we'll see what happens.
That sounds sounds good.
You gotta pace yourself on Super Bowl Sunday because
it's a long day.
You get fired up with the golf, you get fired up with the hockey and the basketball that's on earlier in the day. By the time kickoff rolls around, you'll be asleep.
At our advanced age, we very well could be.
And one of these days, the problem is the Super Bowl falls usually now on the Sunday before President's Day. So the idea of having the day after the Super Bowl being a federal holiday is difficult when there is a federal holiday on the following Monday. So until NASCAR switches the Daytona 500 with the Super Bowl, those Sunday scaries catch up on you as soon as that MVP trophy is handed over. You got to remember, you got to clean up all your shit, and then you got to go to bed and get up for work. Well, some of us do at least.
The worst.
But it's hard, and especially like when your team wins the Super Bowl and you're screaming. Never mind. But I don't think that should detract from having a top day.
Right.
Start with the light stuff, maybe work your way up to the better stuff. But
yeah,
for sure.
Mr. Soriano, what are you thinking for you?
I'm probably going to pick up a case of the Belching Beaver peanut butter stout. And
that's your beer go-to now. You're not a big beer guy these days, but you like that.
Yeah, I do. I've also got a whole fridge full of Natter Days and full of
a little bit of the horsies.
What's the menu?
You know what? I haven't planned it out yet, so we'll see.
I'm due for some beef ribs. If Wegmans has the Dino ones, and I'm going for those. It's been a while. If not, I'll go with the other beef ribs that are equally as good, that don't take as long.
Is your smoker accessible there in your location?
Yep. Yeah, it's been running, and so I'm due for that. Thinking along those lines, and probably a liquor day on Sunday.
I got a 10-pound box of Post Oaks sitting in the basement, ready to go, drying out. So I'm ready. I think if I had Southern Comforting Coke and wine, I'd be dead.
Dan smokes like a man. He doesn't use a pellet smoker like I do.
No,
Dan smokes
charcoal
like
only.
Real wood,
which does create a pain in the ass, but the reward far exceeds the risk.
No, it does.
it will be an interesting experiment too, because it'll be the first time that I really smoke when the temperature is under like 80 degrees.
The thing that you'll look for is more so not the temperature, but the wind. If it's a windy day, that's going to screw you up. It's going to take some time.
You just build a windshield around it.
There you go.
Just have the kids stand there for 8 hours and block the freaking hole. It's like, don't move. I'll put the TV outside. They can watch Paw Patrol all day. Just like make sure the temperature stays at 225.
And one of those things for the fireplace. They can just
Andrew would do that. Just so you know, the Rangers are still up 2-1 with 13 minutes to go in the game. I am stuck watching the DC, the Joe Beninati.
Joe B and Blocker.
So Blocker is the worst. So Joe B's not awful. Blocker is terrible.
You can't talk shit about a Hofstra University grad, man.
But he is the homer of all homers.
Actually, I don't think he went to Hofstra, but he definitely was part of their lacrosse program.
Yeah, I'm not impressed. Capitals are swarming here, but the Rangers have played well tonight against the team that's I think.
I applied to Hofstra.
Did you?
Flying Dutchman.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe B, they have a good lacrosse program, and he was somehow involved with that.
I don't know. He's like 4'7". You've got a picture with him, and it's like he's a fucking midget.
It's hilarious.
So
they had to put the Stanley Cup on a table for that event, so it wasn't taller than he was.
Christ.
Man.
I guess we could. Hold on. The Rangers have a 2-on-1, and they. Oh my God! They scored.
Hey,
it's 3-1 Rangers with 12:05 to go.
Delay. Thank you for blowing that.
Is that Strom's second goal of the game? That's Ryan Strom's second goal. If that was a prop bet for tonight, that would have been like plus 950.
Probably.
Ryan Strome, what a beautiful 2-on-1. You got to see that. Panarin's pass.
I'm watching it now.
Panarin's pass, just what a pass. Oh my God.
Watching you watch TV is not as exciting as you think it is.
Strome dishes to Panarin, right back to Strome, and whatever goalie is number 41 for the Capitals, now that I don't know who their goalies are, was beaten like a rented mule. Just get rid of him. Terrible. All right. Well, I bet the Rangers on the puck line tonight of 1.5. So it's actually in a parlay, though, I think. So I don't know what I did.
Not with the Knicks, I hope.
What's that?
Said not with the Knicks, I hope.
No. Guess we'll watch the rest of the Ranger game and catch up next week with a Super Bowl review.
Don't forget to sing happy birthday to Tom.
Wait, when's your birthday?
I don't sing, and I'm sick.
Yeah.
Wait, what is this? It's your birthday, Tom? Happy birthday, Tom. Thanks for watching.
Cat over there. I've heard a fuking cat meowing for the last.
That's my fucking dog.
Like, what the fuck?
He's just walking in circles, whining. He probably has to take a piss. Don't we all? I do too.
There you go, Monday.
All right. There we go. All right. Will any final party words for advice for those that are going to watch and/or wager?
No, I mean, enjoy it. Don't go in over your head. It's just a game. It should be entertaining. Look, the NFL is the king. We made it through the whole season. We made it through a pandemic with football. The Super Bowl is a gift. Enjoy it. It's going to be weird. I love watching the Waste Management Open before the Super Bowl, but it'll be weird this year with no fans, especially at 16. We'll get over it. Pace yourself. Don't get too crazy before your birthday, Tom. Happy birthday. And, and let's hope may all your wagers come in. As long as they don't counter mine.
Why would anyone do that? Matthew?
I just hope that I don't have to pay my bookie on Monday. That's all I care about.
See, that's the thing. You pick on Thursday, you're paying on Monday, but I think this year we're going to be good.
Well, enjoy the game, gentlemen. We'll catch up next week and see if all of our thoughts rang true as we we talk about what went down Sunday. Have fun, be safe, feel better, Dan.
Thank you.
We'll catch you next time on the Grand Central Sports Hub. See ya.